Hi, everyone. We're joined now by Michael Pinball Clemons.
Good morning,
Toronto
everyone.
Argonauts. Looks like we're beginning now with David Morisuti. Dave, please go ahead.
Happy New Year, Michael. Thanks for joining us. Question for you. Well, firstly, starting with free agency. There's been a lot of moves obviously made heading into free agency and trades being made. Where do things stand currently, though, with Win McManus? He seems to be the one that your coach said would be a number one priority for the club heading into free agency.
Yeah, and still is. He is the number one priority.
And now we obviously the coaching staff has been through change. We didn't get a chance to talk to Ryan about it yesterday, but are you expected to make some announcements regarding the coaching staff and some of the vacancies now with other people leaving?
When all of that settles, we didn't announce that, I think, till February last year. So that we'll take our time and when everything is in place and it's the right timing, we will announce the new staff. But I do want to say that Ryan is going to join you at some point later today. He had food poisoning, and so he was down for the count. So he will rejoin you at some point.
All right, thanks, Michael.
Yes, pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. And again, for all hoping to ask questions, please use the raise hand function. We're going now to Justin Dunk. Justin, please proceed.
Michael, Justin Dunk, ThreeDownNation.com. Thank you for doing this. I'm curious if you have an update on Chad Kelly and how he's progressing through his injury.
So we have had a progress report, and things are moving forward. So he's had the surgery. He is in pretty well every day for therapy, and things are moving. The surgery was considered as successful, and there is hope. No guarantee, but there's hope for an on-time report to training camp. But again, we will have our next major update in February sometime.
When did the surgery take place? Who performed it and where?
I don't know all of those particulars. I do know it happened just after, so it was late December, I believe, that the surgery took place. But I'm sorry, in December, not late December, in December when the surgery took place. And again, we will get further dates and updates when things get along. But I don't think it would be prudent to try to assess exactly where things are. I think there's a lot of early healing that needs to take place. And so the first part of it didn't include any kind of training or extracurricular but he is in a stage now where he can begin to have some of the therapy portion of it, where he actually is able to put some pressure. But again, we don't want to rush that process.
Totally understand. Is he doing his rehab in Toronto with the Argos trainers and medical staff?
Yes, that's where he has been the whole time. Up until this point, there may be some other options that we look at a little bit later on, but up until this point, all of his work has been, all of his rehab is taking place right in Toronto.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate the update.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate you. All right.
Thank you very much, Justin. We'll move next to Frank Stanici. Frank, if you please.
Frank, CFL Talk. Pinball. I guess a follow-up to that question would be, what does the quarterback room look like? Will it change definitively, or are you trying to keep the same players involved in that quarterback room?
All of these things are in progress. Obviously, we are so excited about Arbuckle and what he brought to the table with us. And he was originally our number one quarterback when we were coming in as rookies in this seat. And he offers so much. And so we are readily trying, and I won't speak to these kinds of things often today because they are not done. but we are proceeding steadily, trying to get Arbuckle back in as our number two, and we'll see where we go from there.
Your team's experience with Arbuckle winning the Grey Cup has seemed to have accentuated the need in every team's mind that they have a really good number two, as opposed to a number two that can get you a yard on third down. Is that a thing?
And I don't know exactly how they feel, but when we first came in, Arbuckle was our number one, but we had Mac, of course, is our number two, and so we've consistently had the idea that it's best to have two, and then with your number three, and I probably shouldn't be enlightening these things, but I'm halfway there now. So, but with your number three, I think you can talk about some a player that's that you look to for the future, right? But I think having number one quarterback and then a solid number two, hopefully a guy who's had a little bit of experience as Arbuckle has is I think a real advantage.
Thank you for this, and enjoy the meetings.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Frank. We'll go ahead now to John Hodge. John, please go ahead.
John Hodge, 3 Down Nation. How are you today, Michael?
Good, John. How are you?
I'm cold, but I'm good. I wanted to ask about the trades of Folarin Orimolade and Dijon Allen. How big of a factor was the salary cap in both of those moves?
I guess it wasn't hard to to see that it's really hard to keep together a team who does well. Our league has done a great job at trying to support keeping teams together. But I think that is something that it might be worth continuing to table as the future goes. I think they've made some have made some changes that have tried to encourage guys staying in the same marketplace, and so that is a really important thing and something that we strive for, but it is a difficult task.
Can you tell us who you anticipate will replace Dijon Allen? Is there an in-house plan?
No, we wouldn't do that at this point. We're hoping that we will have more than one option when it comes to that, and at some level, we have options already. Our offensive line is probably our strongest position, and we've got guys along that front who have played, and young guys who have stepped up this past year and done really well for us, and other guys that we will be bringing on. So with that, we don't want to overassess too early, but it is a position of strength, which gave us the ability to make that decision.
With Kevin Brown coming over from Edmonton, do you anticipate that Kadeem Carey will be back?
So no anticipation at this point. Would we love to have him back? Absolutely.
Last one for me. After 2024, you've now won 8 Grey Cups. What's your goal? Do you want to get to 10? Like what's you've got 8 rings already. What's keeping you motivated?
Well, I think the biggest thing there is how little I have to do with those 8. we've had great teams in all of those situations. There's a guy named Doug Flutie who won two of those, and then there's a guy that does a little TV, Matt Dunnigan, who was there, and so we've had it's a byproduct of great teams, and that's what we're trying to build here. That's what we're trying to do here. Is continue to refresh and have strong teams year after year. At some point, you're going to have a down year. It's just a part of our game, but our goal is to continue to try to refresh year after year and play the kind of football that will give you a chance. And we certainly don't take this lightly because as a part of the great heritage of the Toronto Argonauts and their 19th Grey Cup, winning more than anybody in history, we also had a 31-year drought from 52 to 83. And so I really respect the process. Winning in our league is especially difficult because of the familiarity and other things that are associated with it. And so I love our league, and I don't at all want to suggest that the winning or the championships and our great league and great process have anything, well, I shouldn't say anything, but have much to do with me. It's a part of process and being in the right places, the right time. And yes, I've been leaders in most of those victories, but again, it's so much bigger than any individual.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, John. We'll go now to JC Abbott. JC, please proceed.
Hey, Pinball. To combine sort of two previous questions, when it comes to your conversations with Wynton McManus and those concerns about the salary cap, how tough is it to get a guy like him under contract who's going to command that much money when you're in the situation that you're in?
He's in a situation where he is one of our higher players, and so part of the mountain, we've climbed part of the mountain already, and so from there we'll see what it takes. But he is a very important piece, and I think we've expressed that he's omni-important. So we will make the steps that we feel that are necessary to make sure that he is an Argonaut.
In terms of the conversations that you've had with him, how close would you say you are to getting something done?
Again, I don't think that serves the conversation the way we need to. There are some background things that are part of the process, and those wouldn't be fair to him to discuss.
Interesting about your defensive line. It's such a key part of your team's success last season, that pass rush, but ultimately Flo leaves via trade and Ralph Hawley gets signed in the NFL, and then you've got a number of other guys who are pending free agents who are going to command probably significant raises. How do you reload that group knowing how important it was for you last year?
Well, this was a reloaded group. We actually lost three of them last year, who were part of a very strong team who went 16-2 in the regular season, and so we won't necessarily talk about our approach, but we understand the import of those guys that go that operate in front of Wynton and allow him to do the things that he does. And so consistent with that, we'll continue to have to one, be vigilant about getting at least one of those guys back, and then from there, making the decisions that we need to make to bring enough competitors in, and we'll be rooting for Ralph to remain down in the U.S. there in the NFL, and if it doesn't work out for him, then we could potentially be able to get him back as well. But we think that we have the right process in place to continue to be competitive there.
And last one for me. Any conversations on that note with Jake Ceresna, and how's that going?
We've had a couple of, he wanted to get home and take a nice break for the holiday season, and we've had some good early conversations, but I wouldn't say it's imminent, but we will be working towards that end.
Excellent. Thank you, Pinball.
Right. Thank you so much.